So hello everybody, my name is Céline Ross and I am an educator for Janome Canada, and I welcome you in my sewing school in Montreal, province of Quebec. So maybe you notice a little accent, but I do it in purpose for you to pay attention of what I'm going to tell you. So I'm not alone, I'm with Carolina, and Carolina tells me that there's people from almost all over the world. So I won't look at the chat box because I have to translate and showing you and sewing. So don't worry, after the live I will reply if there's any. But I guess Janome America is on board to answer you right away if any question. But if somebody, if I need to reply something, don't worry, after I'll reply to everybody. Okay, so what was the title on the Facebook today? It was the magic of pintucking. Pintucking is an easy way, straight stitch, to embellish a garment, personalize. I say garment, but it can be everywhere, anywhere. Huh? Stretch fabric, woven fabric, different type of fabric, home deck, lingerie, vintage garment, okay, ready-made garment, or if you make your own garment, you can embellish before. But like this shirt here, it's from the store, okay? But I do embellish with pin tucking on the side. I hope you see very well. We can do a close-up after, okay? Of course, the mannequin is small for this, but instead of dart or just after the dart, you know, it just, you personalize, you embellish with a little something personal to you, the way you want. You can do you see, I didn't make them even, huh? I made like a V. So I have a few samples to show you, but for you to understand my sample, I prefer to start by showing you how to use the accessories you need, and then you'll understand better what I did with the samples and why I made them this way, and gives you suggestions. So we'll switch camera, and now that you see me, I put my glasses. Okay, so whoops, I'm ready. Okay, so I'm using the M7, Continental M7 from Janome. Whoop, I'm trying to zoom out, she said to me. I'm listening. Okay, so M7. Okay, of course, Janome thinks of everything. If you go into the t-shirt, so you have you can set your machine with regular sewing, quilting, and optional accessories. And I want to do, well, my screen is in French, I didn't think to put it in English, I'm sorry. So I want to do pin tucking. So the machine tells me you need, for thin fabric and narrow hem, you need the foot, optional foot, and 2. And if I was doing large on heavy fabric, I need to insert to attach N1. Okay, I'm doing thin pin tucking today, so it tells me N2. I'm okay, I listen, it's there already. Then I'm using, to do a pin tucking, I'm using a twin needle. So what is pin tucking? Twin needle is what to do, is to do what? Is the straight stitch, just a regular sewing? Well, that is top stitching. But if you want to do if you want to do pin tucking, you know, there's a delay because I have to translate. So to do pin tucking, you need to stuff in between your two seams, okay? So what I prefer to do, I like to choose my stitch number 3, which has a lock stitch at the beginning and at the end, And I do prefer, no, I do prefer, not I prefer, I have to say to my machine, hey, I want to insert twin needles, huh? When you buy a Janome sewing machine, many models offer the twin needle inside your regular accessories, standard accessories, okay? So this, when it comes with the machine, the twin needle width of the two needle is 2.5 millimeter. Here what I did, I used 3 millimeter just to show you something else, okay? So I'm asking my machine that I'm inserting a twin needle, and also I want to length the stitches, my stitch length. I want to length it to 3, okay? That's my starting, my preparation. Then I'll move the camera again. Then, okay. Oops, too much lightning, huh? It's too white, huh? Wait a second, I'll try to, maybe, did I push something? I'm sorry. Oof, it's too, okay. Okay, I think I'll use this because it was too light and white, you don't see well. Okay, so I did a few samples here that I'll explain later, but first I'm going to show you how to set your machine. Of course, you have to attach the foot that the machine tells you, okay, and 2, or the foot you choose, okay, and 2. I already insert my twin needle 3 millimeter, but you know what? When I have a twin needle, I cannot use my needle threader. You can't use it. And what I prefer to do with my thread, I like to put them underneath my top thread, underneath the foot, into the foot holder on the side. On the side, you know, from the back to the front, you cut your thread, and from the front to the back you attach your thread. I like that tension so that I don't have that little a lot of stitches at the beginning. You know, you want to do a nice job. So according, for you to see well, I drew a line, but with time, you know, it's air eraser. So I'm going to use red yarn. I'm using yarn, but you can use thick thread, okay, size 3, 5, 8, you can use this. You can use cording, but I want this to be soft, okay? So because my fabric is soft, I don't want the cording to be stiff, so I'm using a thin cord. So you see the difference. I'll zoom for you to make sure that you see well. Here I use that thick, and the second row here I use 1 strand of wait a second, the camera, no, here, okay. So you see, I unroll it to use just a straight to make it thinner, okay? And this is what I use. So what is the difference between? It's the same thread, the same yarn. So I flat this one with just a steam a little bit. I didn't want those curly hair here, okay? So I insert my N2 foot because I want to do narrow, thin pin tuck, okay? To make sure you go straight. You know, when you buy the kit, you have to buy the kit. It's the two feet in English because it's 2 feet, and 2. It's not needle plate, it's plate, plastic plate, and the plate has a guide for my yarn. Doing pin tuck without this guide, not good at all. I do not recommend it. It's too hard to go straight. So the first row, first of all, not first of all, but my English is limited, so I repeat sometimes the same word. So this narrow groove can do 9 rows. You have 9 groove. When you use the wide one, you have 7 groove. And this is because I use a 9mm sewing machine. If I use a 7mm machine, well, then you have less. You have 7 here and 5 here. But no matter what, you can add as much as you want, huh? And when you do PinTuck, it's always odd rows. So 1, well, 1 is not enough. 3, 5, 7, 9, never 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay? So I asked my machine, I drew my line. I asked my machine to start with lock stitch. Of course, it tells me the foot control. I'm so used without the foot control. So I'm doing my lock stitch, which is pre-programmed, and then I just go. I don't bother. I don't even have to think of the cord underneath or the yarn underneath. You see? And guarantee it's gonna go straight. It goes inside here. If you don't use this, it's hard. It get off of the way, you know. And I'm using red to show you shadow. There's many type of PinTucks, okay? So I use red to show shadow, but I'll tell you more later. Sewing, translating, talking, oof, it's hard to do at the same time. And you see, I don't sew fast. I want a nice straight stitch, okay? So with your sewing machine, you have the speed control. Many Janome sewing machine has the speed control, okay? And then I keep going. I'm tempted to go fast. I don't want to do this. Then, you know, you miss it and okay, I'm at the end. I don't go outside of the fabric, and I'm going to use my thread cutter, the thread cutter of the machine, okay, the thread cutter function, and of course I'm using my Janome scissors from the Janome kit. They're really, oops, sorry, you see the stand. So I guess you all know this this scissors kit, okay? And then I have my first row, okay? I'm going to do my second row. Again, I'm using the tweezers from the kit to catch the 2 thread. I like these tweezers. It's not tweezers. You can use them for the Serger and Cover Pro, but I like the curve and the way it's out. You see, it's not at the end of the metal start, the metal part here, so I can catch easier. And in the holder, my thread in the holder, okay? Now I'm ready to do my second row. My second row can be done to the left, to the right, because you have equal groove on each side, okay? And now that's where you become a little bit creative, or you for variation. I hope my words are okay. So if you want them close, the first row is the guide. The groove here is the guide for the second row, or the second groove still close. I want you to see very well, so I'll use the third row, okay? But I can't go like this now. I really have to add cord or yarn, okay? So I'll insert my yarn into my plate. I hope the word is plate with the guide, okay? And I said I'm going to use the second row, and here we go again, okay? You don't go fast, but I can go a little bit faster. So there's a possibility also to increase the thread, the upper thread tension. You know, there's no secret in sewing, huh? practice, 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 samples, samples, samples. Okay, so this is my second row, lock stitch, thread cutter. Right away I take the, you know, I always repeat what I'm doing. Take this, the habit of putting my thread right away to have a nice beginning. You see how nice, how clean it is. Okay, I don't have a lot of stitches at the beginning. And then I'm going to use the curly one, so you'll see them 3 side by side and you'll be able to understand what I mean. So this is my third row. This time I will use the other side of the groove, the right side. You have to, okay, and it's here. So you see, look at my groove will follow. So this one is seam number 1, seam number 2, seam number 3, but you can do 1, 2, 3, but no matter what, you have to do 1 first. Okay, and then again my eyes stays here. If you look here, the machine knows where to go. If you keep here, keep your eyes here, the machine knows where to sew. And the needle plate, not the needle plate, the plate at the on the bottom, the plate knows, the plate can hold your cord. So maybe I'll move it a little bit, but you see very well. I really hope you see well. If I do this, so sorry, so you see I'm following my groove, and here is my cord. So I hold the thing, I can go, of course not that fast, but still, okay. Okay, at the end, lock stitch, pre-program with stitch number 3, thread cutter, and I keep adding and adding and adding as much as I want, but like I said, odd number. So here, see, if you catch them, it's so, I really love them. And also, you know, when you use tools, you're more familiar, you know better how to use them, you're more comfortable to use them. Okay, always got your thread. Hey, look, no, sorry, I keep touching it, sorry, but so you see. And of course, you don't iron this very flat, huh? Because there's no more, there's no more, yes, that will keep this up. So you see, by using a wider groove, my work is a little bit wider. So I'll do 3, because you know, then 5, 7, 9, you keep enlarging, huh? Okay, so let me explain to you what I did here. I use top stitch needle width, the width between the 2 needles, 1.6, 2, needle 2, 2.5, 3, 4. See how larger it is? Keep growing the, keep enlarging the pin tucking. Okay. 4 again. Oh, what happened? 4, 4. Well, you see, thin yarn, thick yarn, sorry, yeah, thick yarn. So that makes a real difference. So how do you do this? Well, it depends of the effect you want to give to your fabric. Thin fabric, you want to do thin. Wide, you want to do wide. Here you have the perfect example. So you see, red, you'll see better. So you see this side, I used the full one, the big yarn, the thicker yarn, and here I split it. You see, I took just one strand of the yarn. So you see the difference in between, and always with the same needle. But that's create, I like that. It creates something else, a shadow pin tucking. Here I use red thread. I don't like it, but you never know, okay? So this is what we just did. And when you really get comfortable, then you start to create. Whoops! Look, the way, the weave, the curve. Look at this. Hey, this is really nice, huh? This is really personal. It's really unique to you. I like it. Okay, but you really don't go fast here. Okay, now I'll switch camera because I want to show you some samples. Okay. Hey, merci Carolina. Okay, so I did Pintucks here. This is stretch fabric. I told you we can use pin tucking and any kind of fabric, but you have to sew according to the fabric. So you see I put 3 bigger space and 2 on the side. You know what? There's no limit what you can do. There's no limit. So you see, this is a skirt on a stretchy fabric. Sorry, I know you see the cording, but we have 3 camera. And look what I did here. Even the hem. So what's underneath? Yarn. Okay, up, little balloon. Okay, so you see, you have two thread on top, and the bottom thread, the bobbin thread, is going to catch the 2 sewing thread, exactly like a top stitching, but top stitching with a little bump. Okay, so this one I made before sewing the skirt. So you have to prepare stretch fabric, woven fabric. So this is wool flannel. Okay, so I'm starting to decorate because I don't do this 2, 4. It's always an odd number. Okay, and this sample here, it's tablecloth, 100% polyester. So you know you can do 3. Come back if you're in a rush. You come back 2-3 days later or 6 months later, and you keep adding and adding. This is a tablecloth. It's called mommy cloth, the fabric. Okay, it's 100 polyester, and because it's called mommy cloth, it's stain. The stain won't hurt it. I don't know how to say. Okay, and look at the example I made here. So you see. My twin needles, why these are blue and these are red or black? When it's black, it's because it is the twin needles that come with the machine. Okay, so it's a 2 millimeter. Okay, but this one is 2.5 and 4. And blue is for stretch fabric. Okay, red is always regular fabric. But look here, 1.6. Am I okay? I keep watching because I know we move the camera, but I can do better. Okay, so I'm using 1.6. Look how fine it is. Imagine a linen or a lingerie or yeah, a delicate fabric. Okay, can I do pin tucking on leather or simile leather? Or, of course you can, but look at the width of the needle. This needle size is 6 millimeter. Now you have to pay attention. Not everybody can use this. Okay, so you have a 9 millimeter machine, of course, with a little zigzag if you want, but it's 6 millimeter. Don't damage your machine. And there's even more. There's this one here is jean, but it's jean or denim, but denim 14 ounces. And this time I use a twin needle. Oops. Oh, I'm sorry. So, oops. Look at the width of this. 8 millimeter. So for a straight stitch, it's perfect. But if you use this on thick fabric, you have to use a thicker filling. So you see the difference between both of them? Same thing on leather or simili leather, like I said. Okay, so what we need to do a real nice pintucking, but real nice, you need to get a kit. Okay, this one is 9 millimeter because of my machine, but there's also other, like I said, 7 millimeter. So you need PinTuck foot wide, the guide, the cord guide. This is a must. You can do it, but good luck. Okay, PinTuck narrow, and then you're set, and you can use all your twin needles. Okay, and now I'll show you what I really recommend to my students. Janome work hard, you know, to make a presser foot book. It's full of knowledge, full of ideas, full of creativity, full of hint. So presser foot book, you can, of course I'm talking about Janome Canada because we have this in Canada, but for sure it's coming from the States. Not all the feet comes with are explained in this book, and they made addendum. Okay, I want to do it good. Okay, so this is specialty feet addendum. You see me? Okay, so supplement. Okay, and look, you have 4 color page about pintucking and hint and ideas and nice color picture. And you know what I suggest to my student when we study this foot? So we insert samples beside the picture, beside the document. Bah, translation on top of everything. So I guess I hope you learn and you will practice, and like I said, you know, practice makes perfect. I learned that this sentence often from the English, my English co-worker. And you make samples, you'll make mistake, you'll practice, and you know, making mistake, it's good. You learn, you don't repeat, you don't. So I hope you learn a lot, and I hope you will use and decorate your garment, personalize them, and wear them, of course, or a ready-made garment or your own creation. And I heard some people she tells me what to tell you. M7, Continental M7, that's what I used today. Okay, and you know what, me, I'm getting old, so I'm losing my trend of talking. Anyway, I wish you, oh yes, I wanted to point out this. It's in French, but it's our patch in Canada, in Quebec anyway, in French. And Tanya Daniel, our nice, our good designer, drew this, and I digitized this, and I'm wearing, I'm proud to wear it. Okay, so I will say goodbye to everybody, and until next time, well, happy pintucking. Goodbye everybody.